Hey guys, today we're going to do Things Are Changin' by Gary Clark Jr. It's a really fun song to play on acoustic guitar or electric. He does several different versions of it that you can find on YouTube. But it is a very simple song, but it's a very cool song because there's a lot of different things that you can do. So let's go through it. First of all, full disclosure, the song is 2 chords the entire time. But they're pretty open when you're playing it on acoustic. And then I'm going to show you something I saw him do. There's like a live recording with just him and a guitar, and he was doing something like this. I thought it was pretty cool. It's like... So I'll show you what that is too. Alright, but let's start. So this song is essentially the same thing over and over again. Okay? So the 2 chords that we're going to need are, it's like a D major 7 with a different note in there that he adds, but I'll get there. So what we're going to do is you're going to do your first finger on the 5th fret of the A string, then your ring finger is going to go down to the 7th fret of the D string, your middle finger is going to go to the 6th fret of the G string, and then your pinky is going to go to the 7th fret of the B string there, and you're going to leave that high E open, and you're not going to play the low E. Okay, so the intro, you've just got this going. Because the second chord that you're doing is an A major 7. Now let me show you a couple of places that you can play this A major 7. Okay, before I do that, I want to show you a second place that you can play the D major 7. Okay, and it would be like this. You see him doing this too. Okay, what that would be is you're going to use your thumb, or you can use your pointer finger, however you want to do it, but you're going to need to get that 10th fret of the low E string. Excuse that car, motorcycle, whatever that is. And then you're not going to play the A string. You're going to do the middle finger down on the 11th fret of the D string. Your ring finger is going to 11th fret of the G string. Then your pointer finger is going to go on the 10th fret of the B and an open E again. So that's a D major 7 here and here. It's got kind of a different sound to it depending on what you want to do. Alright, then the next chord is an A major 7. Now you're going to see him play it 2 ways. Sometimes he goes up here. Sometimes he goes here. But either way, it's fine. So this is the first, the open position. So you got an open A. Then you got middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. Pointer finger on the 1st fret of the G. Ring fingers on the 2nd fret of the B string, and then an open E. Oops, sorry. Okay, the other way you can play that is the same shape you had here, but you're going to slide to the 5th fret. So you got thumb on the low E string of the 5th fret. You can actually play the open A if you want to. You've got the 6th fret of the D, 6th fret of the G, and then the 5th fret of the B string, and open E. So those are the only 2 chords you need for the whole song, alright? And then I'm going to show you the little thing, but let me put this into action, okay? So if we got, oh baby, things are changing now, and I can't tell where I'll be from here on out. So that's your kind of chord change. It's pretty quick. It's switch to the A, I can't tell, back to the D, I'll be from here on out. Strum pattern is just, you get a feel for that, right? But watch this now, either variation, right? Let's do that D, slide to our open A major 7. See, it all kind of sounds the same, so however you want to do it is fine. The easiest, I think, would just be do this one and this one. Because that way you don't have to worry about your thumb, but either way is fine. Okay, so that's the whole song, right? You can kind of hear it out. The only change is at the end when he's kind of doing like a little like vocal. He's like this. It's just kind of like a modulation that he throws at the end there. And all he's doing is a G major 7, which is the same as this. You just move it back to the 3rd fret, and a C major 7, which is the same as this. You just move it back to the 8th fret, or you can even do the same thing you did with this D shape, and you can put it back here at the 3rd fret. So that's the only difference. Okay, last thing, which is this. So you see him doing this, especially when he does like acoustic, so he can kind of like strum. He really likes to like get after it and strum. and then play things underneath it. So he's coming out of the D shape here. And so what you're gonna do is if you're doing like the D7 or the D major 7, you're gonna pick up your first finger. And you can play an open A string. Okay, you're gonna leave that ring finger down on the 7th fret of the D, and the middle finger leave that on the 6th fret of the G. And then it's gonna free up this pointer finger to do some stuff. Okay, so if you want to, and you don't have to, but you can wrap that thumb around and grab the 5th fret of the low E string. All right, and that's what you got the sound there. Now again, you don't have to because you can just play the open A. It's kind of redundant actually, but I do it, it's fine. Doesn't matter if you do or don't. If you don't, just make sure you're not playing that low E string. Okay, so then what you can do is you've got 3 notes that you can kind of mess with, and this is improvisation. You don't, I can never say that word. You know what I mean, improv. Okay, so 3 notes that you can play around with, actually 4 because it's the open E string. Okay, you've got the open E, the 5th fret of the E, the 4th fret of the E, and the 7th fret of the high E. And you're just kind of strumming it, right? So what I'll do is go open, 5th fret, 4th fret, 7th fret, open. Right? And you can just kind of repeat that. Or you can just go 4th fret, 4th fret, 4th, 5th, right? That's something that you can play that I like to do to trick folks and thinking I'm like much better than I really am, because it sounds like really, really cool, like multiple things are going on at once when really it's not. All right, so that's the whole song. Hope you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments below.